It started the moment I saw my face in the mirror. Not just my face, the crack. A thin, jagged line running down the middle of my reflection, splitting it in two. I thought the mirror was broken, so I cleaned it, even swapped it for another one. But no matter what I did, every time I looked, the crack was there, right down the middle of my face. That's when I knew something wasn't right. But the real trouble began 3 weeks ago at my cousin's wedding. It was a huge affair, one of those traditional weddings in Enugu where the entire village shows up. I hadn't been home in a while, having moved to Lagos for work, but family is family, so I made the trip back. I was excited to see everyone, eat some good food, and just enjoy the celebrations. Little did I know that I was walking into a situation that would haunt me. The wedding was beautiful, the bride wore a dazzling coral necklace that caught the light, and the air was filled with the rhythmic beat of drums. My cousins and I gathered at the reception, exchanging jokes and making fun of the over-the-top decorations. We were enjoying ourselves, sipping palm wine, when a man walked past us. He wasn't just any man, he was Chief Obi. Now, I had heard of Chief Obi before. In the village, he was considered a powerful man, a figure of authority. But to me, he was just another one of the old guys who strutted around in their agbadas, acting important. So, when he brushed past me a bit too roughly, I responded the way I always do, without thinking. "Oga, you know Fitzy Road," I said, half joking, half annoyed. I didn't even look at him when I said it. My focus was still on my drink and the conversation with my cousins. That's when everything went quiet. I felt the shift before I even looked up. My cousins were no longer laughing. They were all staring at me with wide eyes, their mouths slightly open. I followed their gaze and realized Chief Obi had stopped in his tracks and was looking right at me. His expression was calm, too calm, but his eyes were cold, and I felt a chill run down my spine. He didn't say a word. He just stared at me for a few moments, then nodded slowly before walking away. I laughed it off. "What?" "He bumped into me," I said, trying to ease the tension. But no one laughed. Instead, my cousin Uche pulled me aside. "Are you mad?" he hissed, his face inches from mine. "Do you know who that is?" "That's Chief Obi. People don't just insult him like that." I shrugged. It was a joke. Besides, he didn't even say anything. Uche shook his head, looking genuinely worried. "You don't get it. He's not the type of man you joke with. People say his family deals with things. Spiritual things." I rolled my eyes. I had lived in Lagos for too long to take this village superstition seriously. "Come on, Uche. You really believe in all that juju stuff?" But he didn't laugh, and neither did the others. They kept their distance from me for the rest of the night, casting nervous glances in my direction. The atmosphere had shifted, and I felt like an outsider, even among my own family. The next day, as I was packing up to return to Lagos, my aunt cornered me in the kitchen. She was a small woman, but she had this way of making her presence felt. She looked me in the eyes, her face serious. "Listen, Ada," she began, "I heard what happened yesterday with Chief Obi. You need to go and apologize." I frowned. "Apologize for what?" "I didn't even do anything." Her expression darkened. "It's not about what you did. It's about who he is. You don't cross someone like Chief Obi and walk away without consequences. Go to his house, offer him some cola, and make peace." I laughed, but it was a nervous laugh. "Auntie, this is the 21st century. No one's cursing anyone." She wasn't amused. "There are things you don't understand about this village. Just go, before it's too late." But I didn't. I left for Lagos the next day, brushing off the whole thing as village gossip and unnecessary drama. I thought I'd forget about it, go back to my regular life, and that would be the end of it. It wasn't. The first sign came a week after I returned to Lagos. I woke up in the middle of the night, heart racing, after a dream so vivid it felt real. In the dream, I was walking through a dark forest. The trees loomed over me, their branches twisting like fingers. I could hear footsteps behind me, slow and heavy, but every time I turned around, there was no one there. Except once. Near the end of the dream, when I turned, there was a figure standing in the shadows. It was Chief Obi. He was dressed in traditional attire, his face hidden under a ceremonial mask. He said nothing, but I felt his eyes on me, watching, waiting. When I woke up, I was drenched in sweat, my heart pounding in my chest. I chalked it up to stress. Maybe my subconscious had picked up on the whole village drama, and now it was playing tricks on me. But then, other things started happening. My phone would randomly shut off even when it was fully charged. My apartment door, which I always locked before bed, was found slightly open one morning, though there was no sign of a break-in. My reflection in the mirror seemed off. Not just the crack, but the way my eyes looked back at me, like something else was staring through them. One night, I came home late after a long day at work. The streets were unusually quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you feel like you're being watched. As I unlocked my door, I heard a faint whisper, like someone calling my name. I spun around, but there was no one there. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I rushed inside, locking the door behind me. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, that something was coming for me. The next morning, I called my aunt. I didn't want to admit it, but I was scared. I told her about the dream, about the strange occurrences, and even the cracked reflection in the mirror. There was a long pause on the other end of the line. "Ada, I told you to apologize," she finally said. "It's not too late. Go back to the village. You need to make peace with Chief Obi." I wanted to argue, to tell her this was all nonsense, but deep down, I knew she was right. Something wasn't right. Something beyond my control had been set in motion, and if I didn't act soon, it might be too late. So here I am, sitting in my Lagos apartment, packing my bags to go back to the village. I'm not sure what I'll say to Chief Obi, or if he'll even listen to me. But one thing is clear, I can't keep ignoring what's happening. Whether it's superstition, bad luck, or something more sinister, I need to make things right. Because if I don't, I'm afraid this curse, or whatever it is, will follow me wherever I go. And I don't think I can outrun it.